Hello students, welcome to the class online. Today we will study Urbanization chapter 4 of Geography for class 8. Urbanization. Urbanization meaning and causes. Urbanization is a process of urban growth that leads to a greater percentage of the population living in towns and cities. It is a movement of people from rural area to urban areas, that is towns and cities. So what is urbanization, children? Urbanization is a movement of the people from the rural area to the from the rural areas to the urban areas. Though urbanization has a long history, the modern city worldwide has developed only over the last 200 years. Three historical processes have shaped modern cities in decisive ways. So, what are those three historical processes that have shaped modern cities in the decisive ways? They are the rise of industrial revolution, when the industries came into being, the establishment of colonial rule over large part of the world, and the development of democratic ideals. Democratic ideals, you understand, that is the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Towns and cities that first appeared along river valleys such as Ur, Nippur, and Mohenjo-daro were larger in scale than any other human settlement. Asian cities could develop only when an increase in food supplies made it possible to support a wide range of non-food producers. So in the ancient time we know that there were many farmers. So when the Asian cities has to be established, the people used to see that there is an adequate supply of the food. Cities were often the centers of political power, administrative network, trade and industries, religious institution and intellectual activity, and supported various social groups such as artisans, merchants and priests. Industrialization changed the form of urbanization in the modern period. The early industrial cities of Britain such as Leeds and Manchester attracted large number of migrants. So these two cities of Britain, that is Leeds and Manchester, they attracted lot of people from the rural to the urban areas. In 1851, more than three-quarters of the adults living in Manchester were migrants from rural areas. So there was a lot of urbanization was taking place in Leeds and Manchester, and that was because of the textile mills that were set up in the late 18th century. The agricultural revolution and the enclosure movement and the industrialization were the major factors which leads to the growth of Manchester and London as modern cities. Bombay and Calcutta are the two oldest and important mega cities of India. Both these cities developed during colonial era. So we know that these two cities, that is the Bombay and Calcutta, they are the mega cities of India, and these both developed during the colonial era. Large number of farm workers left their homes in search of jobs. Most of them came from the present day region of eastern Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, central India and the dry district of Tamil Nadu. In the mid 19th century, these regions experienced many changes. Cottage industries declined, land rents rose, lands were cleared for mines and plantation. So there were many drawbacks that had come in the rural areas also. The cottage industries were slowly and gradually they were closing down, so obviously the people have to go to the urban areas. All this affected the lives of the poor. They failed to pay the rents, became deeply indebted and were forced to migrate in search of work. Now, what are the causes of urbanization? We come to the causes of urbanization. People migrate from rural to urban areas due to push and pull factors. So, the main causes of the urbanization, children, it is the pull and the push factors. Now, let us see what are pull factors. Pull factors are those factors which attract the people to the cities. They they are the factors which attract, and people very happily they go and settle in the big cities. This may include more economic opportunities, better jobs, better quality of life, better service, that is education, health, and entertainment. So there are various factors that pull people to the city side, and most of them, as we have seen, is the education, the better job opportunities, okay, the quality of life. Now everybody wants to raise the standard of their living. That is the reason now nobody wants to live in the village, and that is the reason they go to the big cities. This is just because they are attracted towards the cities. Push factors are those that push people from the countryside to the major cities. This may include lack of economic opportunities, division of land, lack of service, education, communication, transportation, health, etc. Low pay, rural poverty, drought, and flooding. Push factors are the compelling factors. You don't want to go, but you have to go because of some or the other demand, because of some or the other need. Now we come to the positive and negative impact of urbanization. Urbanization is a natural part of the transition from low productivity agriculture to higher productivity industry and service. Cities are important drivers of development and poverty reduction in both urban and rural areas, as they concentrate much of the national economic activity, government, commerce, and transportation. More than 80% of global income is generated in cities. So we see that the whole income of the whole world is derived from the city side. That is the 80 percentage. Only 20 is on the rural level, but 80 percentage of we see that it is from the urban areas, that is the city areas. Urban living is often associated with the higher level of literacy and education, better health, greater access to social. However, the speed and the scale of urbanization also brings variety of challenges, including its impact on the government and quality of life. Because of the effect of traffic congestion, concentration of industries, and inadequate waste disposal system, environmental contamination is generally higher in cities than in countryside. So we see that along with the merits we also have demerits. Okay, we see lot of contamination, we see lot of environmental hazards are caused there in the cities. Cities also put a huge pressure on land, water, and natural resources. Even though urbanization may increase income, it is also linked to increase in urban poverty. Most of the Asian and African cities are facing the problem of slums. Slums have invariably extreme unhygienic condition. So we see, children, that the urban areas, they also have drawbacks, as I told you. The posh people, they settle in the city, but the poor ones who are not able to afford, they go to the slum areas, and on and whole they become the victim of unhygienic condition. Consequently, people suffer from waterborne diseases like blood dysentery, diarrhea, malaria, typhoid, jaundice. So these are the drawbacks. When the poor people, they settle in the slum, they become victim to all these diseases. So now, children, with this I end this video number 1, and in the second video we'll carry on the leftover content of this lesson, and I will also be giving you the question answers. Please do it, and if you have any queries you can always ask me. Wait for the second video also. I will send it as soon as possible. Thank you.